Disability in many instances is seen as inability. Therefore, the unconscious bias against people who are differently abled should be consigned to the dustbin of history. The concept of inclusive education should ensure that the learning system caters for everyone, since every learner has a special and unique need. One of the panelists and a disability activist, Nurse Nigusi, said.
I want to say that for UNICEF, accessibility is a precondition to all the rights that persons with disabilities have, be it education, health, social protection, whatever. It's a precondition. But the biggest challenge of accessibility is the mindset.
Okay.
Because it's the people, it's us who build the 2 floors, right? So those ramps and those stairs are visible. We see them. That's why we talk a lot about them. But the unconscious bias we have about any person with a disability, including children, is quite hidden. That's why UNICEF engages a lot on community-based engagement, social behavioral change. I think once we manage to change the mindset, it will be quite easy to change those stairs, those ramps and things like that, because we will make not a special school for somebody, but we will make sure that this school should allow anybody, anyone.
Okay.
Jessica Gavachab, the head of Legal and Company Secretary at the National Council of Disability in Namibia, said barriers that impede on accessibility should be removed, saying that inclusive education should be applied from the planning phases of particularly the infrastructure.
We've taken note that education is not so accessible, inclusive because of the accessibility aspect. Inclusive education was mostly focused on learning disabilities, and it lacked the physical aspect of disability in inclusive education. I think Yeti said quite correctly that it's about social interaction as well. It's not only having a child sit in a classroom and having access to information and being fed information, but actually having that quality experience of having to interact and to participate in the sports and the cultural activities within the school as well.
Dr. Omukaku Yaha, who also formed part of the panel, emphasized the need for adequate and equitable budget. He said the budget will remain inadequate and unequal because the government is the main sponsor for most disability programs, with the private sector and international agencies contributing very little. Nigusi said that Namibia is setting the trend and has been exemplary with its budget for persons with disability.
It's important that we ensure that each ministry, each sector has, a line for ensuring that they have budgeted for removing barriers. So I think Namibia is on the right track on this, and it doesn't mean that it's funding enough. Sometimes we know, donors are expected, only stakeholders are expected to finance that. For me, whatever you're putting, if it comes from the public, that's 10 times much